Alright, so today I have another box of Ball Python eggs that are hatching. As a matter of fact, I actually just looked at my incubator. In addition to this box, I actually have 4 more boxes of eggs that are going to hatch over the next few days. So it'll be a pretty awesome next few days. So I'll probably do like egg cutting videos every single day for maybe the next 4 or 5 days, which is pretty exciting. And the clutch today, this is a pretty interesting clutch. It's actually a cross between my banana Enchi clown. This is the first year that I'm breeding my banana Enchi clown and getting some results. And I actually bred it to one of my normal females. So the clown's actually recessive, so we'll actually prove out that normal female to prove if it is or isn't head for clown. And I'm actually just, this is the first time I'm actually going through my collection breeding clown to everything. So you never know what's kind of hidden in your collection. If I actually find one of these snakes that's head for clown, I'm going to be breeding that to my clown pretty much every single year to try to hit some clowns, which is pretty awesome. And the other thing we'll actually get, so we'll actually get bananas, we'll get banana Enchis, and we'll also get Enchis. And one of my favorite combinations is the combination of the banana and the Enchi. As a matter of fact, I actually did a video specifically on the banana Enchi combination. You mix pretty much any other gene in with the banana Enchi and you get some really spectacular results. Definitely one of my favorite combinations. So let's pull these eggs out of the incubator. I actually saw some heads sticking out. I think there might be a couple snakes completely out of the egg on this clutch, so it'll be pretty interesting to see the results from this pairing. Alright, so before we jump into the egg cutting, I actually wanted to show you the parents from this cross. This is actually the male that I bred to my female normal. This one's actually my banana Enchi clown, and this is probably the most expensive snake I have in my collection that I actually paid for. I actually paid $1,500 for this guy, which was insane. And I actually bought this guy 3 years ago. Maybe he's about 2.5 now. As a matter of fact, last year when he was about 2 years old, just under 2, I tried to breed him through my collection. I think he was a little bit young, and everything I paired this guy to, none of them laid eggs, which is a real bummer. And this year I got a whole bunch of eggs. Hopefully those eggs will actually hatch. Don't want to count my hatchlings before they hatch, because you never know. Sometimes you can have problems as far as some of them hatching, but so far I've had a pretty good hatch rate, like about 90% hatch rate. So this guy's kind of interesting. It seemed like when he was younger, he was a lot more intense, had a lot more contrast through his body. It seemed like he faded a little bit as he aged and matured. Kind of got a lot of these spots. You can see the spots coming in from the banana gene, and usually when you mix banana with the Enchi, it seems like the Enchi, I think some of the clown too, actually reduces the number of spots that you'd see on a combination like this. So for example, if you actually take banana and work it into black pastel, it seems like the black pastel increases the amount of freckling, these little black spots. And also keep in mind, as hatchlings, you won't see any of these freckles, but as they age and mature, they'll get more and more freckles. I don't think this guy's going to get too many more freckles. Really beautiful snake. Look at the head stamp on this guy. I absolutely love the head stamps, the patterns on the head when you mix banana with the Enchi and when you mix in with the clown. Kind of the weird thing with the clowns too is you mix banana with clown, it seems like it gives it kind of a different head shape. Not really the same head shape that you'd see on a regular ball python. Kind of almost like a smooth edge for the head. It's almost a little like more round than you'd see on just a regular banana. Sometimes you can tell the difference between the bananas and the banana clowns from the head shape, which is pretty interesting. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen some banana Enchis that are really close to this, almost look exactly the same, other than the shape of the head. Usually you can tell the difference in the shape of the head if you have clown in the mix. So it'll be pretty interesting to see the results of this. So I want to show you the normal female really quick. She's a really big normal and produces for me every single year. Alright, so take a look at this girl. This girl is as normal as they come, pretty much. A normal looking, normal nothing, really spectacular about this one, although you never know if it could be het for clown. It's kind of like invisible in a lot of cases where you really can't see the het for clown. This one's kind of interesting. I actually bought it with I bought a whole collection of females. I think it was like 8 or 9 females when I first started out, and they were all mature females. This girl is definitely a little bit head shy on this girl. Not really used to being handled, and she's just came back on food, so she's usually a lot thicker body than this. Look at how thick she is for just recently laying eggs, so not too bad. And it seems like every single year, no matter what I breed to this girl, she always lays eggs. She's a really good producer. Even though she's a normal, you can actually work some males in with some of your normal females and get some pretty amazing offspring. All right, so I just peeked in the side of the box. It looks like they all could be out. This might not be an egg cutting. This might actually be just kind of a show and tell as far as all of the snakes. Look like a lot. Well, there's one. That's weird. I got a little bit of stuck press and seal on my lid here, but it looks like most of them are out. Take a look at that. That is pretty amazing. So much for an egg cutting. Take a look at that. That's how much of an egg cutting. That is just a show and tell. I think there's only one egg there that we're gonna cut on these. They're pretty much all out. So let's take a look at these. These are pretty awesome. So everything is 100% het for clown. And at first glance, I don't see any visual clowns at all here in the whole thing. So take a look at this. This is kind of interesting. It almost looks like what is that? That is kind of interesting. On this one, it almost looks like a pastel. That's kind of interesting. It's definitely Enchi because you can really see a reduced pattern in there. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking it's just a little bit different version of an Enchi. This so there's different versions of Enchi, and sometimes some of them look almost like a normal, some of them look like a yellow. So take a look at this. It almost looks like a pastel, but I think this is just kind of a yellow looking Enchi. Look at that. That is beautiful, like a tiger stripe snake. So this is a Enchi, 100% het for clown. And you can actually tell the Enchi, they actually have kind of these wide bands coming, like a wide pattern up the side of the head. Right on the side of the head, it's a pretty good indicator that you actually have Enchi. And of course, Enchi reduces the patterns. That's what Enchi is really kind of known for, is reducing the pattern. You can actually compare this to, for example, this one here is just a normal ball python. So if you actually put them side by side, look at how much more yellow is coming in on the Enchi, which is pretty wild. I haven't really seen Enchi. I've seen them over on Morph Market. A lot of different versions of Enchi, but I haven't really seen a lot of people have the Enchi version with a lot of yellow in it, which is pretty amazing. Of course, this normal is pretty yellow too, but that is pretty amazing. You definitely see the difference on the head, kind of the really wide band that comes up on the Enchi versus if you actually look at the head of the normal, it doesn't really have that wide spot on the side of the head. Really good looking snakes. They're almost all out, which is pretty wild. So all right, so these are, we have 2 Enchis and 1 normal. So much for the egg cutting on this one. All right, let's see what else we have here. Looks like another normal het for clowns. So another normal. Boy, I can almost put these all up in the hatchling rack already. Really good odds in this clutch. So I actually have 3 bananas. Let's see if we can pick out the bananas and the banana Enchis. Sometimes you work stuff into the bananas and it's kind of hard to tell the difference between the two. Usually you could probably tell like on the wider top of the head. You know what? I don't think I have any banana Enchis. My favorite combination. I don't think we have any. These all look like just bananas, which is kind of wild. Oh, they're all getting away. All right, we got a lot of cool bananas in here. All right, so let's see. So usually on your bananas they'll have like a repeating pattern. I don't know. This one might have. I think this one might have Enchi in it because it has a really reduced pattern right down at the bottom there. I think this, yeah, you can kind of see the wider head stamp on this kind of coming up. I think this one is a banana Enchi with the reduced pattern. It looks like maybe brings out a little bit more yellow in this one. I think this one right here is just, well, let's see. I'm starting to second guess myself. Yeah, I think this is the banana Enchi. I think this is just a regular banana. And keep in mind, my banana is actually a male maker, so all these bananas should be males. I think these are just two regular bananas. Het for clown, and then this one, I'm pretty sure this one is a banana Enchi. Kind of got the wider stripe on the coming back on the head, and kind of a reduced pattern right down there. Really beautiful snake. A lot of times the banana Enchis will even reduce it really a lot more than this. This kind of tricked me up here because this doesn't really look like a banana Enchi up here in the body. A lot of times it's really jumbled up, but you can definitely tell right down here it looks like a banana Enchi on this part of the snake. So that's pretty awesome. Look at all these snakes. I can't believe they're all out, all except one. So we're gonna do one egg cutting right here. We have one left, and we'll take a look at this one. They're almost ready to put up in the hatchling rack, which is kind of wild. Yeah, if you don't cut your eggs, eventually they'll all just come out on their own. Which I'm finding out on this clutch. All right, so, oh, it's so goopy. All right, so let's cut open one egg. It is still an egg cutting. And we'll just, so an egg cutting, basically, once they start kind of cutting through, they use their egg tooth to start cutting through the egg. And what I like to do is I like to cut the egg open just a little more and kind of get a sneak peek at the eggs to see what the results are from the pairing. And you never know sometimes, you know, in a banana, sometimes the bananas can hide genes because the banana is really visually dominant. It can overwhelm a lot of genes. And sometimes the only way to know for sure is to kind of prove it out and breed it to something and look at the offspring. But this one looks like, well, I don't know, this might be, this one almost, I don't know. Let me see if I can see the head on this one. I think it's just a normal. Yeah. I don't see the thicker head stripe down there. That's just a normal. No suspense on that one, yeah. So it almost looks like an Enchi because the pattern's reduced, but keep in mind the Enchis from this clutch actually have a lot of yellow and they have the thicker stripe that thickens towards the back of the head and you really don't see it on that one. So pretty much 100% sure that one is just a normal ball python. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this one to come out. This one has a cool stripe right down the back, which is kind of neat. I actually produced one normal this year that was really super striped right down the top of the normal. It was actually from that same banana Enchi clown, so maybe the influence of the clown gives you more stripes. Although if you actually take a look at let's take a look at this normal. So you know, speaking of stripes, if we take a look at this normal, not really any striping. So the one normal that I produced from that banana Enchi clown, I thought maybe it was from the het clown, and I had a really strong stripe down like maybe the first third of the snake, but it doesn't look like it's consistent through the other normals. So yeah, everyone's always looking for het clown markers, and some people are like, you know, looking at all the different things. I saw some people say that, you know, on the bottom of the tail, I've seen some people say they have a stripe on the bottom underneath of the tail that's het clown. Sometimes people say that the het clowns, just the normal het clowns, are a little bit brighter than the regular normals. So maybe that's where these Enchis are getting some of the brightness. Maybe it is from the Enchi 100% het clown. Maybe the het clown influence is really bringing out a lot of the brightness from these Enchis. That could be a possibility. So this is the first time I've actually had any het clowns or any, well, I don't have any visual clowns yet. I'm actually hoping for some visual clowns at some point, but this year it's pretty much all het clowns. I did have, well, as a matter of fact, I actually had, I had one clown that laid eggs, but I didn't breed it with this one. So I won't get any visual clowns unless I happen to accidentally run into just a random het clown in my collection. But take a look at those beautiful snakes. Pretty awesome. And they're almost all out. So much for the egg cutting. So that was kind of unexpected that I open the box and I get a whole bunch of hatchlings. So if you're wondering kind of what, if you're breeding snakes, what I like to do is I like to, right after an egg cutting, I actually put this back on and whoa, we got a guy. You definitely don't want to crunch a head under the lid. You got to be really careful with these snakes so you don't have any accidents like that. What I like to do is I like to kind of fold back. As a matter of fact, when I get really close to the hatch date, I like to give them a little bit more air and kind of just fold it back and just kind of give them more air circulation in here. So when they're eggs and they're developing, you have to completely seal this with no holes or anything. You have to keep the humidity really high, otherwise the eggs can dehydrate and kind of shrink down. And sometimes you can lose your eggs if it gets too dry in there. And then when I get close to the hatch date, I'd say within a few days, matter of fact, I'll probably go through those 4 boxes that are ready to hatch and I'll just kind of give a little corner just so they get enough air. I always get kind of paranoid that there's not enough air there for the hatchlings, but it seems like it's been doing good up to this point. I just like to make sure they have enough air in the incubation box. So that's pretty much it, guys. Stay tuned for more egg cutting videos, or if they actually come out of the eggs, I'll just be doing like a hatchling show and tell. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
Mm-hmm.